Does being overweight mean that you're unhealthy? Hi, my name is Monica Yearwood, and welcome to my channel, where I offer holistic solutions for the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual diseases that come from our modern lifestyle. So I help men and women establish a healthy body weight for their body type, feel exceptional emotionally, have strong digestion and immunity, and most importantly, I help men and women live in alignment with their purpose. I am an Ayurvedic practitioner, yoga instructor, meditation teacher, and detoxification expert. And today we are going to talk about if being overweight means you're unhealthy. The definition of ideal body weight has been a thorn in the side of many people. Perceptions of how people should appear, how their clothes should fit, and how fat they are have permitted whole entire industries to flourish and has been the center of many self-esteem issues. Weight loss clinics, gyms and fitness centers, liposuction and gastric bypass surgeries all have been at least partially based on the assumption that being overweight equals being at risk for heart disease and diabetes. And even though we're seeing more and more appreciation for body diversity than ever before, we're still a really long way away from destigmatizing people who are overweight and not labeling them as weak-willed. Adversaries of body diversity campaigns frequently argue that promoting men and women who appear to be overweight is harmful and that it is normalizing obesity. But the real question here today is, what is normal body weight? Have we had our ranges all wrong? Does being overweight definitely equate to being unhealthy? Scientific research has come out over the years that both backs up and challenges this idea. For example, people who are overweight have about a 50-50 chance of having high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or elevated blood sugar levels. But people who are within the normal weight range have about a 75% chance of having normal results on blood tests for cholesterol and blood sugar. In other words, just by being obese or being overweight does not necessarily guarantee that you're going to have problems with your blood sugar or cholesterol. One study reported ideal weight carries a higher risk of early death than being overweight, suggesting being overweight may actually be protective. Some have taken this and similar studies to mean that gaining weight may actually be good for you. An entire book was written about the subject called The Obesity Paradox. But subsequent studies and most doctors and scientists agree being overweight or obese poses certain health risks. Being obese or overweight can have negative metabolic impacts on insulin resistance, blood pressure, triglycerides, and cholesterol. As one's body fat increases, so too does the probability of getting hypertension and type 2 diabetes. About 85% of individuals with diabetes have the type 2 variant, and of them, 90% of them are obese or overweight. For most of the 20th century, this disease was limited to adults, but it now impacts obese kids even before puberty. The obesity epidemic accounts for an estimated 300,000 fatalities per year. So which is it? Is it okay to be overweight? And can you be healthy at the same time? In Ayurvedic medicine, which is a traditional form of medicine from India that is thousands of years old, it is well understood that there are different body types. There are 3 primary types that come together to form 7 different variations. Vata types are more slight in frame. They don't build muscle easily. They tend to be elongated, thin, and underweight. Pitta types are medium in frame, have natural muscle tone, build muscle easily, and gain or lose weight depending on their diet and their effort. And Kapha types tend to be larger in frame, have more muscle mass, higher amounts of fat, broader shoulders, and gain weight more easily. And yet, according to Ayurveda, when Kapha types are balanced, they are also the strongest, have the most resilience and fortitude, and strongest immunity. A balanced Kapha type, even though a higher weight by comparison to others, is a far cry away from being unhealthy or out of balance. And actually, they were also considered the ideal beauty as well. Our standards of beauty change throughout history and in our culture. When the way we look falls into alignment with society's standards, it feels really good. But when we are at odds with it, it doesn't feel very good. Many of the ancient Ayurvedic writings describe Vata types, who are the epitome of a supermodel physique, today as weak, nervous, frail, with tendencies toward disease. But even though we understand that beauty and culture are tightly intertwined, it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt if you have a quality that isn't upheld by the mainstream narrative. Which is why I'm so happy that diversity is something that we're moving toward today, and we see more and more women appreciated who have curves. So if you are of a higher weight and it is natural for your physique, love yourself. Focus on media and images that embrace your size. Understand that there is natural body diversity and that you are beautiful for being you. Be part of the social change that is supporting the beauty and body diversity. And don't give in to the old mentality that is dying out that says that higher weight people are always overweight and unhealthy. Now, that said, it doesn't mean that even if you are somebody who's naturally of a higher weight, that you can't become overweight. Just like the rest of us, you need to eat well, take care of your emotions, live in alignment with your purpose, and pursue fulfilling relationships that truly nourish you. But understand that for you to become a much smaller size person would probably be imbalancing for you and possibly destructive. You may not ever reach a super small size unless you starve yourself, abuse yourself emotionally to stay motivated, and exercise excessively. But it doesn't mean that you cannot be fit and healthy. You need to eat well, exercise, keep your digestion strong, and do seasonal cleanses. Most importantly, you need to be happy. But this also doesn't mean that the increasing obesity issue in America and much of the modernized world is not an issue. For starters, there is a big difference between being curvy and naturally at a higher rate and being at a much higher rate and being obese. And just like it would be bad for a naturally higher weight man or woman to force themselves into being a slight frame, it is just as detrimental for a naturally lower weight man or woman to eat so much or live a sedentary lifestyle that would cause them to be overweight. Most people who are overweight or obese show potentially unhealthy changes in metabolism. These include high blood pressure or high cholesterol, which damage arteries in the heart and elsewhere. Another harmful metabolic change is resistance to the hormone insulin, which leads to high blood sugar. As a result, people who are overweight or obese are usually at a high risk for having a heart attack or stroke, developing type 2 diabetes, or suffering from a host of other life-changing conditions. But a smaller percentage of people who are overweight or obese manage to avoid these changes and, at least metabolically, look like individuals with healthy weight. Unfortunately, the large majority of people who are of a higher weight are in truth overweight. This is a byproduct of engineered junk food, sedentary lifestyle, gut bacteria imbalance, dietary allergies, and chronic exposure to environmental toxins in vitro that impact fat cell production and storage and metabolic set points. We authentically have a rising weight and obesity issue that is impacting not only our adults, but our children. There are environmental factors for this, as well as lifestyle factors. And if you'd like to learn more about it and what you should do about it, you should take my free masterclass, The 5 Shifts My Clients Use to Achieve Permanent Weight Loss. That said, your weight should be in alignment with your body type. So how can you know if it is or if it isn't? Here are some signs that being of a higher weight is natural to you and you should embrace it. You eat well most of the time. Fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes, whole grains are plentiful, and you exercise regularly. You sleep well and are emotionally, mentally equanimous. You have good relationships. You feel purposeful. Your digestion is strong. You don't get sick easily. You have good energy levels. You feel motivated and sleep well at night. You don't have digestive issues that you're aware of. And your joints, your knees are not sore underneath the pressure of your body. Here are some signs that being overweight is not native to your body type. If you have suddenly gained weight as a child or an adult, you eat unhealthfully. You lose weight in relationship to your diet and your activity, which is not excessive, but you struggle to stick with a health program and then you gain it back. You don't exercise and you don't eat well. You have sugar binges and strong cravings for unhealthy food. You have blood sugar issues or cardiovascular disease. You have high cholesterol. You are obese. You feel tired, unmotivated, or depressed. If being at a higher body weight is not native to your body type, these are all strong markers that lifestyle changes would be helpful. Thank you so much for your time and consideration today. I hope that this information aided you on your path. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to my channel, like and share. I appreciate any comments, and I would love to know what you think. If being overweight, does it necessarily mean that you're unhealthy or not? Leave those comments below. Thank you so much.